Hello, I'm Doug Rohren here in Juniper Level Botanic Garden, the home of Plant Delights Nursery. And today we're going to look at tongue ferns. The tongue ferns are Pyrrosia lingua. Now, if you are like me, your favorite taco is a lengua taco, and lengua is the Spanish word for tongue, and the Latin word for tongue is lingua. Think of lingua franca, the common tongue or common language. But the tongue ferns are not very widely known and are often thought as not being winter hardy. Well, we have a large number, couple dozen different cultivars of tongue fern in these hanging baskets that spend every single day of the year out in the garden. The point I want to make is that they're fully winter hardy because they survive being in a basket above ground in the coldest part of the winter. Now, our winters aren't terribly cold, but anything that survives, the temperatures down in the teens in a hanging basket is obviously going to be fully winter hardy planted in the ground. They are called tongue ferns because the leaves are tongue-shaped. Now, this is a cultivar with a very ripply edge to the leaf, so it's a little bit different than the wild type, which would look more like a tongue depressor. I don't know if people even know what a tongue depressor is anymore. How do you make craft projects without tongue depressors? The tongue ferns spread by rhizomes. Their rate of spread is fairly slow, so they're not something that's going to take over a garden. We grow a number of them in the ground. They're perfectly good in the ground in average growing conditions. They are evergreen, and we'll see later on in this video a couple other cultivars. There's one with variegated foliage. There's some with wonderful sort of fishtail fronds. But an easy and now we know fully winter hardy evergreen fern for the shade garden, Pyrrosia lingua. This is another tongue fern. The cultivar is eboshi. It's actually a hybrid between lingua and shirei. The leaves are sort of dark green on the top and slightly curly, twisty leaves, so sometimes they show the rusty, almost glossy underside of the leaf, which is a nice feature to be able to see both in one glance. And like lingua, it's another winter hardy evergreen selection of tongue fern. There are a number of tongue fern cultivars that have fishtail-leafed fronds. They're really beautiful. They start out slightly divided, and then as the frond develops, become even more divided. Real pretty thing in the garden. This particular cultivar is Corymbifera, but there are several other cultivars that have these highly divided fronds. We do grow Pyrrosias in the ground, and in nature, Pyrrosias, the tongue ferns, often grow as lithophytes, which merely means stone plant. Ones that grow on stones are probably more commonly grown in leaf litter on top of stones. But you can see this rhizome of the Pyrrosia has spread out over to across the stone and has even sent some little roots out. And it also looks like it's trying to grow up this tree trunk. It is, very much so. It seems to be better at attaching to a stone than the trunk. But they are fun plants, whether you use them in baskets or in the ground.